Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the Real Honest Radio Podcast. This is your host,
The Real Honest, the Real Horse, and the Real Tire, John Ritlin, co-hosted by my best friend, and also...
a man who's just a pygmy stallion because I'm only a little horse, the Durbinator. Hello.
It took me a bit. By the way, rest in peace, the horse that Adam Page rode in on, or as you call him.
Hangman?
Yeah.
Hangman?
I can't hear Adam Page's
Hangman Adam
nickname.
Page!
I can't hear that. So
He rode his horse down that Old Town Road, and then he rode it till he couldn't ride no more.
Oh, that was the glue that held that entrance together. So now that we started this show off great,
Now that we're off to a happy start,
Yeah,
let's talk about...
Jordan Myles and oh dear.
Oh my!
I am not going to...
Vintage WWE.
I am certainly not going to pretend to be sensitive towards racial issues or Rachel issues. Because everybody
More
picks...
of a Ross guy?
What? The hell are you talking about?
I'm sorry you haven't seen Friends.
I've seen Friends, but... Wait, were people actually calling them that?
What? Ross and Rachel? You know
Wow.
what? Let's move on.
God, they were actually calling... They were mashing their names up. Anyway... So, the Jordan Myles, what?
I think you completely missed the point of that.
I kind of did, actually. I'm sorry. Jordan Myles.
Yeah.
Look, the shirt. The fucking shirt controversy. I want to say, first, I could believe that WWE made an ill-advised, badly designed shirt because that's kind of what they've done. Like, a lot. Like, all the NXT shirts, I think, like, sans maybe 10% of them have been shoved out really quickly. I don't know if he approved it or wanted to make a compromise. According to him, he wanted to make a compromise because he knew how it would come out.
I mean, we were also two guys who didn't believe Kofi could become champion because it's WWE.
Yes.
The problem, I think, with WWE, and I don't know who's all in their graphics department, but it may be another example of why representation and equal employment is important. Because someone could take a look at this and go, no.
Right. No. I mean, I'm not saying, oh, God, like in a bad way. When I first saw that, somebody was like, hey, take a look at this and go, oh, no.
Oh, Dios mío.
Oh.
Jordan Myles has been going off, though, on this, however.
Oh, God, has he ever.
To an extent that some might view as too far, calling Jay Lethal an Uncle Tom, which he deleted that tweet, and maybe it was, heat of the moment, made a really bad decision, or maybe he knows Jay Lethal in a different way than we've seen Jay Lethal.
He did work with him in Ring of Honor. By the way, it's a good thing Derb said that, because as shocking as this is to you guys, I'm not black, so I don't think it would be good for me to say, right?
I'm not black either.
Yeah, but
I can't speak to their experiences.
You're a mix of other things. I'm just saying, so coming from you, it would sound less insensitive coming from me, because the only thing I like is sounding less insensitive. No one believes that. But also with this, yes, the equal opportunity, or the equal representation is a good idea. It's just the fact that WWE has a laundry list, like in the last few years alone, of making stupid decisions.
Yeah.
The Attitude Era, going back to the Ruthless Aggression Era, Vince saying the N-word to Cena while Booker T and his wife were right there.
Yeah.
I don't care if Booker was okay with it. That's bullshit.
Yeah. And it is to the perspective of the community that it affects. That's how society works. But
As for
I get why he'd be like, no. And from all accounts, it appears that he really didn't approve of it. He suggested something else, but the way he may have worded it may have come across as, hey, he seemed okay with it, but he'd rather something else. And they're like, okay, we'll roll with it for now.
Right. Which is entirely possible. And it's not like Triple H is necessarily a beacon. Now, do I believe Triple H is racist? Well, no, except people like him can't be champion. Fetch me a towel, boy. People like you are here to make people like me laugh. But wait, that was about WCW guys.
Right.
Right.
Isn't that what Bruce Pritchard said?
Yeah, Bruce can climb to the highest tree branch and sit there and think about what he's done, which is nothing good in wrestling.
I don't think he's physically capable of that.
I don't think he is. That'd be
but anyway,
a strong tree.
Jordan Myles.
The shirt, badly designed. Do I blame him for lashing out? No. The timeline is what's confusing people. It could be 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. 6 weeks ago. It could be 2 months. I'm not sure. He even released an email with the guy who did the designing, apparently. He even did that. Did you see that?
Yeah, he doxed him.
Yeah. What?
Doxing is when you reveal personal information, like, for instance, an email address.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That guy's inbox is going to be inundated with people who may not have the full grasp of the situation that A.C.HHH may.
Yeah. I'm still calling him A.C.HHH also. I mean, I don't call him Myles.
It's just one of those things, like, I don't agree with doxing people like that.
No.
Like, showing that email, I got no problem with. Showing his email address, it may direct unneeded hatred depending on who actually came up with that design. If it was him who came up with that design, or if it was just him who sent it for approval.
Right.
And it's one of those things, like, there's a lot of complexities in a corporate hierarchy that may not have been the best idea.
You know about corporate hierarchy.
To an extent, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've given. But I kind of do based on Coles, all that bullshit. But with this, I get why people are kind of fading away from being on his side. Now, as far as the shirt, I'm 100% on his side.
Yeah.
I do not blame him one bit seeing that. The instant I saw it, no one needed to send me a pic of anything as to why. That's where my mind went. Because I could tell what it was. Do I think that the person who designed it was racist? At the very least, they did
not understand the implications of what it looked like. Whether or not the intent was there, the problem just simply lies in that they just didn't think. Like, not that they're stupid, but that they didn't think to ask somebody else, like, hey, we're designing this shirt for Jordan Myles, what do you think of it? And, asking someone who's, a little bit more familiar with matters, like someone who's black, maybe.
Ask Mark Henry. They only called him the Silverback. And
had sexual chocolate.
And had X-Pac in blackface in 1998. By the way, X-Pac, not blaming him. It was who came up with the idea.
Roddy Piper?
No, that was 1990. Roddy Piper was in WCW in 98. He could have called X-Pac actually and said, anyway, sorry, to speak ill dead. Everything else, though, that stuff about Lethal. He worked with Lethal in Ring of Honor. A.C.HHH worked in Ring of Honor for a while. I'm keep slipping back into calling him A.C.HHH.
No, that's fine.
But that stuff, just bad. It's just really bad.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that. Even if you know a person politic their way or whatever. And I'm not saying Lethal did. He may have, he may not have.
Yeah.
Lethal is still one of the best wrestlers in the world. A.C.HHH is right up there as far as athleticism. The guy is great in the ring. He's got a smile that a dentistry would love. And could probably put on, an advertising. Britt Baker would love to team with him. They both have great smiles.
Yeah.
But
it was one of those things like, the approach was wrong. The merch was bad. That shirt was fucking atrocious. I just remember when Pac left, and his last tweet really was about that damn shirt they made him.
Oh, God.
Even this one was worse.
That one was badly designed. This one was racially insensitive.
They need to get rid of their intern-level graphic design group. Like, if you're going to be a multi-billion-dollar company, you need to fucking put in some effort into your merch, and people will buy it. Like this Bray Wyatt shirt that I'm wearing.
Oh, yeah, that one, yeah.
It's fan-fucking-tastic because actual effort was put into it. You want to make everyone feel big. And having good merch is part of that. And also making sure that you really, truly consult with them and get a clear-cut yes or no on their approval of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Like, just simply ask them, like, so we put, all of 10 minutes of effort into this. What do you think of it? No. Okay. Well, we'll go back to Jordan. What do you want to see? This. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you see it on like a white t-shirt or a gray t-shirt, as Road Dogg apparently liked it, which was in that original email, so this wasn't something that came out after all of these tweets.
And Road Dogg, let's be honest, Road Dogg isn't exactly known for being smart. He doesn't think wins,
He did
losses...
make a big push for Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, that's a good point, but he must not think that wins, losses, or racism matters. This whole thing's a messy situation. If it sounds like we're kind of being a little bit vague, yeah, fuck the person that came up with this thing. I'm not saying they just... Unless it comes out that that guy in that email is the person that designed it, and it comes out that he's a racist, then he's just a scapegoat? Kinda? When the real issue is WWE doing this. And WWE can ill afford this kind of PR backlash when they got Saudi Arabia coming up, which is another thing we're going to get into here in a little bit, just for a brief second. But that, and also all the stuff they're doing, like, you know, the people that aren't allowed to go there, or the bad storylines and all this stuff that they're doing in Fox, you know, and their whole thing of like how they're viewed and stuff like that, and the people behind them. This just is bad. And can this cost A.C.HH's job? Oh yeah.
That was what I was going to ask you next. Is do you think A.C.H. can recover from this?
Not in WWE. He could. Now he could.
Yeah.
He could. I don't think they will let him. They will ice him. If they come to a mutual parting of the ways, it would be a good idea. Let him go somewhere else. Because he burned his bridge with Ring of Honor. To be fair, Ring of Honor has no bridges going to it anyway with all the people that keep leaving.
It's like a rope bridge, and if you take the wrong step, you'll slip off and become forgotten.
And the
son.
Yeah, and even the creature from The Last Guardian won't be able to catch you because AI was bad. Yeah. Anyway, what?
But I do believe that Jordan Myles, he can come back from this. I mean, if Pat Patterson can come back after
the scandals.
Yes. Hulk Hogan can come back after being a racist and porking his friend's wife.
That one that we know about.
Yeah. If Randy Orton can come back from shitting in people's bags
and saying the N-word on a stream.
Yeah.
Stupid.
If Jeff Hardy can get all the goddamn chances in the world, to be fair, it's Jeff Hardy. Like,
he takes all the chances by jumping off all the high things, not sweating like Shane.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of shit that people have come back from. I don't think this is gonna kill A.C.H. or Jordan Myles.
I don't think it's going to right now.
It could definitely impact his career at the moment, but Vince McMahon is a man who's all about business.
True.
If it makes business sense to keep someone, he'll keep them.
If he means that it's going to be like WCW and he just keeps everybody under contract to fuck with everyone else, he'll do that. Because it worked for WCW. Look how well they're No, but I agree with you. I hope that it does work. But right now, this is a shitstorm.
Yep.
And
it's not a situation either of us are equipped to really give the definitive yay or nay to.
Yeah, because we're not black.
Yeah.
Again,
we don't have that experience.
Yeah, I don't have that experience with discrimination. Yeah. I don't. I imagine you probably had some experience with it, but I mean, I don't know.
Some.
But I'm not
there are people who look at me and they don't know what the fuck I am.
To be fair, I didn't know what the fuck you were when I first started working at Kohl's. I go, yeah, I know he's a cool guy. But
be half Filipino and half European, and then have people not know where and what you are. I've had people walk up to me and start speaking Spanish. I've had people who...
Wait, have you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've had people who, like, gave me dirty looks at the airport.
Oh, God. That's what worried me about when you said you were traveling at one point.
Yeah.
Just, you know...
But, like, my experience also still not the same experience that African Americans have in this country.
No. And that's the thing. MVP's reached out to him. So many others have reached out to him. Yeah. And it's just the level of discrimination is disgusting. People are like, Kofi became champion. The Street Profits main event of Raw. New Day's been pushed. Yes, but take a look at that list and take a look at the other list of shit they've done.
But the difference is to the Street Profits. They make money. They've got people who buy their merch. New Day. They're a merch machine.
They are.
It's one of those things of Vince McMahon cares about one thing, and that is money. How much money can you make him?
He doesn't care. He didn't care about the fans because people say, "Oh, the fans forced Kofi to be in there." And that's part of it, but also Vince finally saw the money in it.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It took him that long. But there's a laundry list of them, how badly they've treated African Americans. And then you got the Mexi-cool thing, if you want to go off on the Hispanic thing. Riding lawnmowers. Michael Hayes.
If it ain't white.
Kerwin White. Good God. But you know what? That's a whole nother discussion. We'll probably revisit this on another podcast and more stuff comes out. But let's talk about Becky Lynch's new ill-advised shirt where I don't care about your stupid feelings. This is not on Becky. This was not a good time to release this shirt.
Correct.
I like the shirt. Yeah. I like the shirt.
Now, I get announcing it on a Monday because it's before Raw.
Right.
She's probably going to step out wearing that. And people are going to take it the wrong way because, you know, the internet can be very reactionary.
You know what would have been great? If they had released a shirt when the Sasha feud was happening, after the Sasha WWE 24 thing. Yeah. After she opened up about, you know, the reason she may or may not have walked away for a while. Whatever it is. Yes, it would have made Becky more of a heel, but it would have given more of an edge to the feud.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think this is probably going to be viewed in the wrong way.
Yes. And that, again, is something that WWE can ill afford to have happen right now.
Yeah.
So, let's briefly discuss some stuff. So, we're going to get into some Impact spoilers after a bit. But first, we're going to talk about the rumor that Stardom, the Stardom promotion since Bushiroad bought them, we discussed that in the last podcast, possibly, and then like 5 hours later it came out. Stardom will reportedly have a match at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Now, I like this. If they let them be Stardom. I've only seen some matches of Stardom here and there.
All right.
You let those women go out and tear it up in the Tokyo Dome. There's enough fans there from all around the world, not just Japan, but around the world, that are going to cheer that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be good. I just fear that they're going to water them down, which is weird for New Japan, because New Japan doesn't water a lot of people down. But there's that cultural difference and that cultural divide when it comes to how women in the ring are viewed in New Japan and how men are viewed. And I'm not... Whether people think it's a good or bad thing or not, women have wrestled in New Japan before. But this is a separate promotion, owned by the parent company. I think it's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't want them featured on every single show, but a variety, having them on the 2 Wrestle Kingdom shows, because it's going to be a 2-day event. Having them on New Year's Dash. Having them at, like, say, the New Japan Cup Finals, or New Beginning in Osaka at the end of the New Beginning Tour. Having them on the, I don't know if they're going to be doing Honor Rising shows, because I don't think Ring of Honor and New Japan are going to have much of a partnership after New Japan America, which is a big goddamn deal. That's a big goddamn deal. So actually, let's just go with that, actually.
This is going to be I really hope they don't go with Wednesdays.
Oh, fucking hell. I don't think they're going to do that stuff yet. They're going to probably just release stuff on New Japan World for now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, for the love of God, don't go to Wednesdays. Go to
Thursdays.
Yeah, go Thursdays. All you have to do is compete with NXT UK.
People can close out the week with wrestling.
Yeah. They could watch NXT UK, but I don't think enough people do. I fucking don't remember it, and I like a lot of people in there.
I mean, would it be the first time New Japan went up against NXT UK?
And boy, did that work out well, despite the Fight TV difference.
Timing.
No, Fight TV was having some issues, but the venue was. Stardom doing that, I like it. New Japan America, I love it.
Yeah.
I love the idea. They have an American base here. They've had the LA dojo for a bit. Shibata has been training with them.
Hot, fresh Shibata.
You had to get that in?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Hi, Dad.
Your dad probably is.
My dad came up with that stuff.
I'm not surprised.
Fresh Shibata.
Did he actually say it like that?
Yeah, when he was working at the bakery, anytime he made a fresh batch of ciabatta, he'd just yell out for all of the customers to hear, "Hot, fresh ciabatta!"
And you know, the funniest thing is...
Because my dad is hilarious.
I wondered first, where did Chris, get his humor? And then I finally met his parents, and I go, 5 minutes in, I go, yeah, I know exactly where he got his humor. But with New Japan America, because we get a chance to talk about that on the other podcast, I love the idea. I hope they partner with some other smaller promotions, some indie promotions. They could do stuff with PCW, since I believe they're based in California, if I recall correctly. Aren't they? PCW?
Think so.
Yeah, PCW is.
I know Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is.
Yeah, we're talking about good stuff, though. I don't even think Pro Wrestling...
A lot of great wrestlers have been featured and become more well-known thanks to PWG.
Yeah, that's true, but does PWG even run that many shows anymore? Like, I
have no idea.
I don't hear about let us know in the comments. I don't hear about buzz anymore on that. I kid. PWG just...
I think the reason for that, though, is because of the new wrestling sphere that has occurred.
I even mean the last couple of years, like since like at least 2017 and whatever. But you're right. Partnering with some other indie promotions, that kind of stuff, and it looks like they might even run a show or two in Washington. They do that. Yeah, I'm going again.
As long as we're not needing to drive to Tacoma all the time.
True. Well, I mean, it would be if it's like once, but yes. Yeah, Tacoma was ass. Super J-Cup was great, though.
Yeah.
I like the idea of New Japan America. Hopefully it works out. That's going to sever the ties of Ring of Honor. Not that, again, Ring of Honor hasn't already severed ties with just about anybody. Sinclair is keeping a freaking husk of a company alive.
Yeah.
Nothing against the people working there still. Except Angelina Love, Velvet, and Bully. They can all piss off. I mean, we know the reason Velvet has a job. But anyway, moving on from that. I like the idea. Now let's move on. Okay, so we're going to do Impact spoilers. So I'm giving you a 5-second warning on this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That was a good 5-second warning. But giving you this. 5-second warning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Impact spoilers. You're still listening and you want to get upset at me? Sorry. Warned you. So,
click ahead on the timestamps down below if you want to skip through.
Yes. That's why we put timestamps now. Thank you, Valena. So, Sami Callihan is apparently the new world champion. Why don't you just nuke the goddamn company now?
But he's the draw.
Yeah, like to, I mean, he almost, turned Eddie Edwards into a chalk outline draw.
Yeah, that too.
Look, I don't know what he is as a person. I know there are people that like what he did to Jim Cornette because he got upset because of all this stuff. Cornette was right to say what he said about Callahan. I don't agree with everything that Cornette says, but in this case, he was right. Sami Callihan is a garbage wrestler. Is he a garbage human being? I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care. He was a jobber in NXT. He wasn't really much of anything in Lucha Underground. Impact hired him basically because they had nothing going. And one thing, Impact has a tremendous knockouts division right now.
Yeah.
Their tag team division is limited as far as numbers, but they're good. Brian Cage is good. They have other talents that are good. But they have some that I just don't care for. One that we're going to talk about a little bit later, but Michael Elgin's one of them. We'll talk about him in a minute. Or in about 10 minutes. Sami Callihan is the best they can do for a world champion. Yes, I know they built this whole thing with Tessa and him having a match at Slammiversary to main event the show. Tessa Blanchard, this is a power of Tessa Blanchard. She got me to watch the Sami Callihan match. Bravo to her.
Yeah,
she's really good.
She's spoken of as one of the best female wrestlers.
She is... I'll go better. She is one of the best wrestlers. I would go better. I would, if I made a top 25 current wrestlers, and if I included people from everywhere, I don't know if she'd crack top 20, but she'd be in top 25.
All right.
It would, because she got me to watch Sami Callihan match. Yes, I know that he's been feuding with Brian Cage and all this stuff and everything, but having him win the world championship is bullshit. You have plenty of great people that won that championship and Alberto El Patron. I wish I would have waited.
Not unfair.
Right. I wish I would have waited to do a ranking video of world champions from worst to best, because I would have put Sami Callihan at the bottom. Fuck that guy. He's a fucking idiot. He's a garbage wrestler. Doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I just don't... I never understood with him. Is he a nice guy? Cool.
I haven't watched Impact enough to really be able to make a determination of him.
Oh, I fucking just saw him.
That's why I'm leaving this mostly to you on that.
Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, I appreciate it. No, I saw him in... He wasn't that good as Solomon Crow in NXT. I mean, to be fair, him and nobody could have got that gimmick over.
Solomon Crow.
I mean, to be fair, somebody maybe with some wrestling ability could have probably gotten some of that over. The guy's a fucking idiot. Just fucking moron. And he's their world champion. if this leads, people say this may lead to Tessa being world champion.
Which, hey, Impact, that'd be a good on you kind of move.
I'm not against it. There are fans that are back, throwing like stuff back at it.
Were you about to say throwing shade?
I was. And I was also going to say something else, and then I completely lost it, and then I was going to go with that. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't want to throw my sunglasses because I left them in the car. Tessa Blanchard, I guess, only has like 6-8 months on her contract. Okay. Fucking give her the championship at some point. Why not? She could be the first world champion of a men's division. WWE could have done it with China at SummerSlam 1999. They didn't do the thing. Impact could be something. And one, it would get the championship on somebody that's actually talented. When that happens and how it goes is anyone's guess. But yeah, Sami Callihan, fuck that guy. As far as a wrestler. I just don't get the appeal, and he got fired from MLW because he went into business for himself, reportedly, and damaged a building that they were in. Doing a wild brawl. Because that's all he knows what to fucking do.
Yeah.
He can't fucking do anything. Except swing a bat and almost kill somebody.
Yeah, there's that.
And he should have been fucking banned from wrestling for that. And he wasn't. Because Impact was desperate. And run by idiots, apparently. Well, Don Callis, the overrated announcing jackass he is. Anyway.
Meanwhile, back at the WAC.
So, one more thing about Impact. The dick spot being sold by Ken Shamrock.
He's in his 50s. He's in the... past the end of his career. Let him do a comedy spot.
Okay. We met Joey Ryan.
On a show that's viewed by maybe like 10,000 people each night.
That's being generous. Like, seriously, on Twitch, they aren't even drawing that. Now they're going to be on Access soon. I wish the good people in Impact nothing but the best.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Joey Ryan, we met him a few times. Joey Ryan is fine for the indies. Impact might as well just roll over and die at this point. I have nothing against Joey as a person, though he has made questionable tweets. I've never gotten it with the comedy stuff. I never have.
I know.
Does it appeal to people? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Can he actually wrestle? Yes, he can.
Yeah.
I'm glad he recovered from that pec injury, because when we saw him at the anniversary show earlier this year, he was still recovering. I'm glad he's okay. I saw this and was like, Ken? And I like Ken Shamrock.
Me too.
He should have been WWE champion.
Yeah.
That's just taking a blowtorch to your career.
Really?
At least some of it. Maybe not all of it. But, I mean, yes,
How many people actually even knew he showed up on Impact?
More people than you might think, actually. I was actually surprised by how much people were like, really? I mean, he shouldn't have done a dive at Bound for Glory. I mean, Moose had to catch him. Moose had to catch him and not beat him up because he's not a woman. But anyway. That's stuff about Moose. But anyway. Ken sold the dick spot and then got upset, held his hand, and then did the ankle lock, so he beat him. Cool. Cody's done the dick spot also.
Yeah. It's a rite of passage on the indie scenes nowadays. It's one of those, like, it's fine. It's comedy wrestling, and it is a flash in the pan for the rest of a show. It gets the crowd laughing. And it's alright, Diet Corny, but
I'm not nearly that hateful.
That's why I said Diet Corny. But like, I get it. I like some stupid in my wrestling. I don't like it if all of the show is stupid wrestling, but I like some stupid in my wrestling. Because stupid makes me feel like I'm not in watching a tense storyline all of the time. You have to have your comic reliefs in a horror movie. And when you're watching something as disturbing as WWE, sometimes you need some comedy. Same thing goes with Impact.
Which is sad because Impact's actually been trying to uptick and everything. Even diehard Impact
Apparently,
fans.
from what I hear, Impact's been putting out some of their best product in years.
Unfortunately,
no one's watching it.
That too, but unfortunately, also this has actually even gotten
like
some. I haven't watched.
I stopped watching after the main event Mafia started because I just didn't have the time.
Well, honestly, after Hogan and Bischoff came in, you really didn't miss anything. except Hogan in the ring against Sting. Remember how I showed you that match, Chris? Remember that?
Yeah.
You tried to repress it. Anyway, speaking of WWE and horror, hey, Crown Jewels this Thursday. Guess who's watching? I'm going to watch. I watch so you don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. So now let's go to the main event of this whole thing. We go to Without a Cause, Year 1.
Mm-hmm.
And
the first half of this show was fan-fucking-tastic.
Also, congratulations on 1 year for them.
Yes,
1
definitely.
year. Yeah, this Max, so many of the people working behind the scenes. Max, his wife, Avalon. I'm sorry if I forget
Avalon.
that. Okay, yeah, no, they're really cool people. So's all the crew.
They're a really cool people. John Ritland, 2019.
The what?
They're a really cool people.
Did I say that? Okay. Fucking damn it. They are really... They honestly are. I really do like the fact that they're personable. There are so many cool people on the crew that are personable. They moved into a much better venue in recent months.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations on 1 year. They've gotten good production going.
Yeah.
It's
new location's got a lot more soul than the Normanna Lodge. No offense to the Normanna Lodge.
Yeah.
It has plenty of room for seating in that place, but the ceiling, to quote Super Crazy, damn it!
Yeah, Super Crazy, who does a triple jump moonsault. I think he couldn't even get to the top rope. He could barely do the second rope.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And of course there was that AC unit that was right above the ring.
Yeah, nobody likes a big unit.
No, right above the corner of the ring.
Right.
The corner that everyone usually goes to jump off of things.
Yeah, nobody likes a big unit draping in front of them.
Mm.
Well, I mean, maybe some people do. Let's get to the matches.
Yes!
We were at the front row. Shocking.
I know, right? We started off with a, 6-man?
Scramble.
Yes.
Kingpin, Johnny Flynn, which if any of the wrestlers are listening to this, understand it's about the gimmicks and not you guys, but the way Flynn dresses, I'm like, I even said, is he allowed to be around children?
Yeah, I was like, man, he looks like a discount Kevin Federline.
And then I said, no, Flynn has talent.
Yeah, he does.
But Chris Cruz, who is like the wrestling nurse.
Yes.
And he's checking his pulse all the time on his neck while he's wrestling. And
hey, you gotta make sure that,
It's fucking tremendous. I fucking love that. Yeah. That was great. Eddie Osborne, wrestling personified. What? Cool thing.
Wrestling personified.
Eddie actually is pretty good. If you look at him, you wouldn't think that he could work. And again, if any of these wrestlers are
he looks like Winnie the Pooh, which kids make sure to remind him of.
God, he does. But he could work. He can actually work pretty good.
Yeah.
Somebody you know pretty well, the Black Sheep Dave Turner. You know him pretty well because you work with him.
Yep.
Zach Cooper. We'll talk about him in a minute.
Walter Jr.
Yes. He is Canadian Walter. He is. Cool Dad Chris Ross, that we talked to a bit before the show. Really, really good guy. But yeah, scramble match. It was a 6-way match, and whoever got the first pin. There was this one point where Cool Dad Chris Ross comes out with the Home Improvement theme and puts a door near the stage.
And that will totally not come into play later.
Zach Cooper got thrown through the goddamn door.
Yes.
Press slammed. Impressive spot.
Well, so did Cool Dad.
Yes. But I'm just saying, that was an impressive spot. Mm-hmm. But fucking hell, we were like, is Cooper dead?
Yeah,
right?
Much like me, apparently, Zach Cooper had separated his shoulder prior, like a couple weeks prior to the show. Yeah.
I enjoyed the match, though.
I don't know how he managed to work with that. But Zach Cooper, legit badass. But yeah, it was a great match. Got the crowd really hyped. We used up a lot of our energy for this match. But things got even crazier with the next one.
They did. They did.
But who won the match?
Who did win the match? Was it Turner? Turner won the match.
Yeah.
Did he? Okay. I actually couldn't remember for a second, even though it was weird. But yeah, Turner won the match. And he is like, he's much more of a throwback. What I like is that he's a throwback to like the 80s type of monster type guy, but he's brought into like 2019.
Yeah.
I clearly think that's what he based it on. I'm not knocking because it's like really good.
This is the same guy that I knew he was a wrestler from the very moment I saw him in a shirt that says "You're Marty." I'm Sean.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, all right, there you go. But yeah, the next match is the hashtag local celebrity Steve Miggs, KSW 99.9.
Yeah, with the massively talented Voros twins.
You had talked about them because I had to miss one of the shows. I definitely see why you like them. they are obviously twins, but
identical twins.
Yeah, and it's great. They're
like they could actually do a twin magic thing.
Well, yeah, because
fellas.
Yeah, well, because they actually have tits that are real.
They don't.
Would you let me have that?
It's completely wrong, though.
It is. I'm sorry to the Voros twins. Not sorry to the Bell. Sorry, any Bellas fans are listening. But
anyway,
I don't care for that.
they were up against
Young Knight. Sorry.
Yeah, they were up against Young Muscle, the tag team of Jaden Morales and Nick Wayne.
I actually didn't know what Jaden's last name was. I just wrote Jaden.
No, that's fine. And To Fly, Jet Knight.
Ooh.
This is a guy who I tweeted about earlier.
Yes, you did.
But go check him out. This guy is going to be going places and not just 8 feet in the air.
Might go 10 feet in the air with how he jumps.
Yeah. The moves he pulled off were just fantastic and smooth as silk.
Nick Wayne.
Smoother than Cedric's Michinoku driver.
Which is something. Nick Wayne is Buddy Wayne's son. He's only
14, 15.
Yeah. And fucking hell. Jaden.
Nick O'Shea.
Is that what you called him?
Yeah.
Did you tell him that?
Oh, yeah. I started that chant.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. I like the match. I thought the Voros twins are great because they're great heels, but you could tell it. I don't even know if you could combine them and they would be legally able to drink.
Yeah.
But they're great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Miggs doing the superhero pose thing.
But he just kind of lazily rolls back and then gets up and then goes into the superhero landing.
Yeah, and then of course the super kick thing from combo from Jaden and Nick.
But yeah, Young Muscle and Jet Knight, they take the win.
Yeah. I know you. I think you liked this match even more than I did. I liked this match.
I'm excited to see the prospect of all three of Jet Knight, Jaden, and Nick Wayne.
I would like to see the Voros twins back at some point. I think that
I'd say Nick Wayne in 4 or 5 years, because as tall as he is right now, he hasn't gone through the rest of puberty yet. So that kid's gonna grow.
And then you had I think his family that was next to us.
I'm not sure.
Or family friends, because the girl that's always screaming for him. Yeah. That sounded wrong, but she actually was always cheering him.
Yeah, but no, Jet Knight. If we don't see him hitting the big time soon, I'd be surprised.
If he ain't at least on MLW, I'd say in a year.
NWA Power, that'd be nice.
I would definitely pop for NWA Power.
But Nick Wayne. Kid's probably going to end up being New Japan bound at some point.
He'd be perfect for Noah.
Yeah.
He'd be perfect for Noah. He'd be too young for New Japan, but he'd be perfect for Noah. And I mean, obviously not probably till he's 18 because of travel, but he could work well in Noah, provided that Noah doesn't go under, which hopefully he doesn't. I just say because of how small some companies are. But Noah isn't what it used to be, my point. But this was very good.
Yeah.
You popped for this, I think, more than I did. Nothing against. Again, if any of the wrestlers are listening, by the way, one, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking time out of your day. But yeah, I really do appreciate the indie scene. It's given me more respect for what these wrestlers do. Yeah. Not that I didn't have respect for what wrestlers did anyway.
It just gives you a bit more insight into a bit more, not
not like peeking behind the curtain.
Nick.
He's notorious for doing that.
Or anytime there's a match he's interested in, you could just see him poking his head out from the curtains.
And he's 6
So I'll occasionally do a glare towards
I have seen you do that. I was like, what do you do? Oh, and of course Nick's I think he's as tall as you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we then get to Chase James, Spokane born or Spokane raised. Steve West.
The best.
Yes.
Simply the best.
He would. Is that what he's called?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Simply the best.
Steve West. That's really good.
And the Devil Drexel.
Yeah, where every time he gets hit in the head,
he turns into Deadhead, which is a hippie.
It's funny.
Have you guys seen the Devil?
And then he gets hit in the head.
He's been after me.
I actually remember even saying,
"Where are you, Deadhead?"
I remember even saying at one point, I said, wait, was this one of the rejects from the Devil's Rejects? And
the Devil's Reject.
And Drexel's cool. Chase, really nice guy. Chase really is. Who won this? I'm trying to remember. Did Steve win this or did Chase? No, Steve won it.
Yeah, Steve West won this.
Yeah, Steve West won this. I feel bad for forgetting that because
Chase James ate the pin on that one.
That's right. Chase ate the pin. Yeah, that's right. Drexel was all confused and all that. But then we get to the first half main event, which is Chris Bay and Hammerstone.
Yes.
And oh boy.
Chris Bay, who's finessed his way onto every show the past week.
And the past year, he has been everywhere in the past few months. He's been on
He knows how to
205
hustle.
Live. He's been on 205 Live. He's been on Impact. He's been everywhere. Hammerstone sent him almost into the ceiling.
Yeah.
With that backdrop.
Whew.
And, I mean, we got to meet... Chris Bay ends up taking this. This is a really good match. Really, really good match. And if you guys get a chance to see this, I mean, I think Independent Wrestling TV is where WAC has their shows.
Yes, IWTV.
Yes, make sure to check that out. I think it's only like $9.99. You get a whole bunch of stuff.
Hey Alexa, shut the fuck up.
But yeah, we got. You have noise on your phone anyway. My stuff's silent. But Chris Bay, he's everywhere. Hammerstone's on MLW.
Yep. Beef Castle versus Bay.
The Bay Castle. That just sounds... You know what? That sounds terrible. It sounds like a show that E would try to create, and I hate it already. It doesn't even exist. We got to meet Chris Bay during the intermission.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
I've met him a couple times.
Yeah. First time I met him. Really nice guy. 23, and he's that good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just... One, it's him and Swade Thompson. They're a double platinum, which I'm surprised they're not teaming up more. I'd like to see them team up one more time in WAC, especially like the one time that they teamed up and you kept getting all the pictures because he knew where the camera was. Both of them did, but especially Chris. Chris knew where...
photoshopping his missing tooth in because it's kind of...
Oh, yeah, right.
There.
Yeah. But then that was during the intermission. We come back with Daniel Makabe and Tony Deppen. Tony Deppen, who worked with Alex Zane. And I actually said at one point where they were battling in the bleachers or whatever and said, I see you took the necessary steps for that spot.
That depends.
You proud of that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Makabe. I keep wanting to say Makabe, but then I'm like, no, that's Togi Makabe. Makabe's very good. The man of many faces. Expressions that you put.
He's got hilarious expressions.
He does. Deppen I was very impressed with. Yeah. I had heard a lot about him. Very impressed with him.
This match, much like with any technical wrestling match, was difficult for the crowd to get into, but it was very, very well worked.
Very well, very well. These two guys,
technical matches are one of those ones that it's hard to get pop a crowd because you gotta get people excited for grappling.
Which I think they did. Yeah. I think they did to an extent, but I agree with what you're saying. It's as some indie crowds react. I would like to see
technical matches shouldn't go too long on the indie scene.
True. And I think Makabe actually tweeted out at one point about wanting to face off with them again. They book a WAC. I'll absolutely make sure to be invested in it. This is good. And then we get to Canada versus Texas.
Yeah, Dirty Andy Dalton versus Golden Boy Travis Williams.
A.K.A. the Justin Bieber that everybody calls him Justin Bieber.
I don't think Andy looks like that.
Andy Dalton actually kind of reminds me of like what they turned... Terry Gordy's kid into, who was Jesse and Festus. Remember that? Remember? When they made Luke Gallows an idiot?
Yeah.
That was dumb. So this was fun. It was playing off of something that you said happened at the other show that I had to miss.
Yeah, Dirty Andy Dalton was about to win the this multi-man match. It was a fatal 4-way. But Travis Williams snuck in and took the win. And so they kind of went off of that because it would have been Andy Dalton who would have won that.
Yeah. I mean, and also, Travis knows exactly how to play the crowd. He's only like, 20, 21? And he plays it up well. Dalton's really cool. And, of course, you point out Travis Williams wore white tights against Dirty Andy Dalton. But then we get to... Dalton took that and then licked the hand of the palm of the woman next to us, which was hilarious. But then we get to Rhea Von Slasher versus Christina Von Eerie.
I think that was her name.
Yeah, that was her name. I had to think about that. But Christina had to replace Jessica Havoc, who got double booked or something like that.
Yeah.
Booking snafu, so she had to pull out. You had seen Rhea Von Slasher a couple times because you saw her on a 4-way on a show I had to miss.
Yes.
Then we saw her Without a Cause, or not Without a Cause, but Defy. In that 4-way match where her and Sloan landed in a really bad spot, and I'm glad they were okay. I was excited to see Rhea Von Slasher. Impressed with what she was able to do. Never seen Christina Von Eerie before. Not that...
I like how we had two Vons in there, Rhea Von Slasher and Christina Von Eerie.
You know what? I didn't even think about that. But I was impressed. With this. I liked it. You and I did talk, and again, if anybody from Without a Cause is listening, please do not take this as a bad criticism. Sometimes some of the matches don't need to go as long as they do.
Yeah.
And not necessarily this one, but, just in general.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to worry about TV requirements or anything like that. If a show goes short, it goes short. If the show goes a little long, that's fine too. Not every match needs to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes a good 5-minute, 10-minute match might be what's in order if you need to get across something.
That's an issue with Defy also.
Yeah. And maybe that's just the general layout of the indie scene, and I can understand that too.
Right, which is fine. I'm certainly not saying that they should, that anybody should cut their stuff short. If they want to go long, they want to go long in matches. That's
another
fine.
thing too. You got to clearly define who the heel and the face is, because Rhea Von Slasher, almost anywhere else she goes, appears to be the heel.
Yeah.
Von Eerie, I had no idea if she was going to be the face or the heel. So it was one of those, it was hard to know who to root for, who to boo. So the crowd was mostly quiet.
They got into it a little bit later, but yes, you're right, especially initially.
Von Eerie took it upon herself, I guess, to really just establish that she's the heel.
She was great. She was really good. And, Rhea Von Slasher, really, really good as well.
Glad she recovered from that fall on the apron.
Fucking hell. The hardest part of the ring.
Yeah.
But also, when her and Sloan fell, that was scary. But one thing I want to mention, okay, really, really quickly, going back to another match. When we were at the last Defy show, we're going to be at for the year, by the way. Rebel Kell and Kikyo. Mm-hmm. We knew who the heel was.
Yeah.
I mean, both women were really nice during intermission, but Kikyo noticed you and Kell noticed me, which was odd. It was nice, but it was odd. But we knew who the heel was right there. But this was a good women's match. I'm glad they were able to get the women on there. And then we get the Strays in 4 minutes of heat. It was the Strays. The Strays are Icarus and
Tyler.
I'm sorry.
He goes by Ely.
Right.
Icky and Ely.
Yes, right.
Of the Strays with rabies.
The Strabies with rabies.
Versus the 80s throwback, the 4 minutes of heat.
Eddie F. and Pearl and Rock God Ricky Gibson, Gibson's really interactive with fans on Instagram. I actually posted some stuff.
Yeah. Now, anyone who had watched some of the promo work, because the Strays are very good with their promo work.
They are.
Kind of got the hint that the Strays were going to be going heel by the match's end. But the match began essentially with Judas Icarus, or Icky, taking a bump that made it look like he busted his neck, and so he was out on the side of the ring, and people were legitimately concerned for his health.
Yeah, we were it's so it was a 2-on-1 thing, and they flipped the switch, but it was cool because you had the first fall happen.
Because he brains himself so often, we wouldn't be surprised if something finally went wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, we felt one on our goddamn feet, and we're just like, oh, fuck. But no, it was a really good sell job. It turned out the Strays turned heels. And we're not going to go through match, move by move. Yeah. But this was really good stuff.
What is this, one of my NXT reviews?
Yeah, but you did that effectively in a number of minutes.
Yeah.
That was, you call it a sport. That's what it should be called, did my pen fly?
Flinging your pen at me, huh?
Sorry, I didn't realize it flung out of my hand. But anyway, I enjoyed it. You had the Strays turn heel. They bashed Gibson with a chair after taping Eddie's.
Yeah, 4 minutes of heat. They've essentially turned face, which... I guess it took some time to mull it over, but they got to it.
How long were you waiting to make that one, Chris?
A while.
Okay. But the mullets, though. It's got to be the mullets. That's what's really great about it. This was really good. No, great way to end it. Really, at some point, I hope that maybe what they do is shorten up a couple of the matches. Have it where they have a bit of a longer intermission to give the crowd a chance to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Make it a 15, 20-minute intermission. Which I know seems a bit long. I know they have a merch table. But you could give the wrestlers a chance to breathe, interact with some of the fans and stuff like that. It's not that many people. There's 200 fans there.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm not knocking. It's just, it gives them a chance to interact with them more. Also want to make mention really quickly, you had the female ref, Julia Smiles? Is that what it was? The female ref, Julia Smiles, that's what they called her?
Yes.
Yeah, and
I think so.
She was working the merch table at the last WAC show I was at, but also in August. But
She
also,
looks like she could bench press me.
Yeah, she works security. This is not a knock if she happens to be listening. Yeah. But she works security.
Hard work pays off, and it shows.
Fucking yeah. But yeah, she worked security in at Defy.
Yeah.
And she was by my feet, back to the row.
Keep us away from the wrestlers so that we don't get hit.
Yeah. When Jacob Fatu,
so I won't get hit.
Yeah. Just Jacob Fatu flinging fans and chairs and shit. You get out of the way if Jacob Fatu's near you. But no, that was really cool. She's like, sorry, Ned, you got a job, dude. Don't worry about it.
She and Chris Samuels were the two main refs tonight.
They were the only refs.
Yeah.
But yeah, she took a really impressive pump kick. That was good stuff. But final thing I want to make. One, great show, great stuff by WAC. Want to keep going to the shows. Hopefully they fall on days where it's not WWE pay-per-views because I still watch.
Next show is on the 30th on a Saturday.
Which we're going to be watching, obviously.
The 30th of November.
Yeah, 30th of November. By the way,
if you managed to book a show in a few days, that would have been
impressive.
Yes.
They canceled Michael Hogan's appearance the day after they announced it.
Yes.
And that's good.
I made the mistake of when he asked the question, is Logan's stunt related to Marco's stunt?
Oh, for God.
Of letting him know that, in fact, he is his younger brother, who is also slightly taller than Marco.
I'm sorry. I objectively hate it, but that's all I'm going to say.
You haven't even seen him. I haven't seen him. Leave your assumptions at the door.
No.
Yes.
I'm not going to...
Because then you won't enjoy it.
Oh, I'll enjoy it by... Hopefully he'll face somebody good.
If the Strays, who are objectively as short as Marco Stunt, can put on great matches, who knows what Logan Stunt can do?
The Strays look like wrestlers. I mean, maybe Logan does. I don't know.
Yeah.
Marco doesn't. Get that little small child out of the ring. Why is this ending in anger? WAC was good.
Yes.
Thanks. You made me think about Marco Stunt in the ring again. I was going to think about that anyway after you brought up Logan, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I didn't, you were going to bring up Logan, and then,
No, actually, I completely forgotten about it.
But yeah. I guess that's about all we got.
I really think that's about it. We went long enough on this, and I think we had some fun, and I got some rage out. And we're going to do the timestamp stuff and figure this out. But anyway, join us for the Raw review and a bunch of other stuff we're going to be posting this week. Crown Jewel review, I will have up. Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
Right after it happens.
But, yeah, join us later on tonight. We're going to be reviewing Raw. Hopefully not starting off with we give up on this channel because of the divorce court segment.
Oh, come on, Chris. It's such good shit.
Anyway.
Yep.
I've been the Durbinator. This has been Diet Corny. John Ritland. And, yeah, we'll see you next time.
That can be my new name.
No.